Hey, welcome back to Mercury Minded Tarot. My name is Chelsea, and if you are new here, hi, welcome. I like to do tarot and astrology related content. In particular, pick a cards like the one I have for today. So if those are things that you are interested in, please feel free to like, subscribe, or even let me know in the comments what kind of video you'd like to see next from me. As you can see, I'm not in my usual environment. I am out of town traveling this week. So I still wanted to get some content out for you guys, and I thought I'd be able to do a life purpose or potential career path reading pretty quickly for you guys. So I apologize if this reading is a little shorter than my typical ones, but I wanted to get something out, and this reading still should provide insight and guidance in regards to your professional endeavors, or if you have questions about, what would be best suited for you. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, everyone, here we have our 4 groups. I'm going to try to point them out without setting myself on fire, the things we do for the aesthetic. We have group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, at this point, I always say to go ahead and pause the video if you need to take a moment, allow your intuition to speak to you, tell you which groups have the messages that you need to hear. I know for others of you, just whichever one comes straight to your eyes first is the one that you should pick. So whatever method works best for you, take your time, do what you need to do, pick your group, and I will have the timestamps listed down below, and I will meet you there. Group 1, are you ready? Because I'm ready. I'm gonna get these laid out for you, and we can take a look at some good possible career picks for you. Group 1, let's go over what cards we have for you here. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, Aquarius, 4th house, Air, Pluto, and then down here, I love that they're all green. We have Teacher, Avenger, and Advocate. Now, I think all of these go together fairly well, actually. So the careers that come to me right off the bat, and it's when I'm looking at these tarot cards here, the Knight of Wands is very high energy, right? So immediately I think of things like emergency services, whether that's, paramedic, firefighting, just being involved in rescue or as a first responder. And I feel like that goes really well with this Avenger card that we have down here, sticking up and trying to help those in need. Other things that come to mind with that type of energy would be more in the entertaining side of things, whether that's acting, being involved in drama. And you know what? I actually think of writing and specifically journalism here too. And journalism that kind of goes with travel. And I say travel because we have these air cards, literally air and Aquarius, which gives me this impression of like writing for companies, whether it's like National Geographic or other institutions that will allow you to travel and write about what you experience there. Now, all of this, especially Aquarius, Pluto, and these cards down here, Advocate and Avenger, I feel like your life purpose is focused primarily on helping the collective or being focused on the bigger picture. So with that in mind, working for things like charities or non-profit organizations, those will not only allow you to travel, right, with the Knight who indicates travel, but it also allows you to help the collective, to help humanity on a larger scale. Because with Pluto and Aquarius, there's this desire to bring about change. You could even be interested in traveling to impoverished countries, maybe teaching, teaching children a language there, being supportive. I see that word here on this 4th house card. Kind of helping lay foundations for other people. You're really meant to bring others up, all right, with all of this air and 4th house energy, and literally Advocate. It's putting your compassion into action. Okay, that's what I get from this. And the 5 of Pentacles, when I look at this, I think of almost like nursing or other medical professions. And that could also be involved with travel. If you travel to places that have, maybe been struck by disaster, you could implement that first responder type of energy I had there. Maybe going to these places, helping them recover, providing medical aid, because there is a medical vibe I get from this group. Aquarius is very, science-minded and air is intellectual, but there's that compassion here too. So I do feel inclined to say that some of you may be leaning towards more medical professions, whether that's nursing or other jobs in the medical field. You do want to help others on a large scale. And what kind of confirms this compassion for me is the presence of all the green that I see, especially in my archetype cards down here at the bottom. You know, this is referring to your heart center. This is all about the love you have to give. With Aquarius, it is almost like your vision to figure out how to bring about change to help improve others' lives. So I am getting that as your purpose, Group 1. For some of you, it's to bring attention to places in need, whether that be traveling and journalism, just bringing attention, shedding a light on the issues that you encounter, that you come across. And for others, it's going to be going to those places and providing some sort of aid, whether it's education based or if it's medical and like taking care of people's physical well-being. You are, you know, wanting to stick up for those who can't take care of themselves or for those who don't have a voice. Let me see, what does this card actually say? It says, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society. So that's, gosh, I feel like that's such the Aquarius stereotype. This group is very, very intelligent and also very motivated, high energy, just a strong desire to make a difference. That's what I feel for your life purpose, Group 1. Again, I'll just kind of go over them. You know, I had acting, I had entertainment and drama, but really specifically, I feel journalism, travel is definitely involved here, and caring for others on that larger kind of collective scale in regards to maybe being a first responder or involved in emergency services. Also, you know, charities, nonprofits, and then of course, nursing and other medical professions. I feel like those would all be really good fits for you, Group 1, and maybe something to look into if you haven't already. So thank you for checking this out. Feel free to check out the other groups if you want to, and otherwise I will catch you next time, Group 1. 2, are you excited? Let's get these laid out so that we can identify some good potential career fits for you. Okay, check it out. For you, Group 2, we have the Devil, Ace of Pentacles, 11th house, we have 2 Jupiter cards, Venus, and then this slew of spiritual, religious cards, Martyr, Exorcist, and Messiah. So this is gonna sound really weird, but literally the first thing that came to mind when I flipped these cards over for you guys was like, you guys are going to have a large following. And the very first thing that came to mind was like a cult leader. And I know that sounds scary, and I don't mean that in a literal sense, but I think what gave me that impression was seeing the Devil along with Jupiter in the 11th house, because this is like your associations, this is your social circle. Jupiter expands that, makes it really, really big. And with these kind of spiritual, religious cards and the Devil, it just, people follow and believe what you have to say. And I'm gonna leave it there because that could be interpreted in so many different ways. You may have a large social media following. You may be involved in a group or an organization that has a lot of members. Those are just kind of the things that spoke to me as soon as I flipped these over, and I thought it was just very interesting to say the least. But getting into more specific careers or life paths that I see for you, Group 2. Just right off the bat with the Devil and Ace of Pentacles, there's definitely an inclination towards business, specifically being your own boss or working for yourself. Finance is involved here. I mean, Pentacles is associated with money, but the Devil can be associated in that way too. So maybe working in a financial institution. I also want to point out with Venus and the Ace of Pentacles, this is kind of earthy energy to me, okay? I feel like this love for nature, for being outside. And on that note, I can see gardening, something with flowers, whether it's horticulture, being a florist. There's definitely just an appreciation for nature. I could also see when I mix that with the Devil, maybe like some sort of park ranger, wildlife conservation. Those are all things that come to mind when I see these kinds of cards. Now, the Devil and Jupiter, since we do have 2 Jupiter cards, that does tell me that this is like definitely something that's being emphasized and something that has extra importance in this spread. So on that note, Jupiter is often associated with humor and laughter. So with that being said, I could see a comedian making others laugh. And with the Devil though, that kind of puts a little darker twist to it. So this could be like self-deprecating humor. It could be satire, really heavy sarcasm, just kind of a more dark and dry sense of humor if you do go that kind of route. I also want to say, when I see Exorcist, when I see Martyr with the Devil and the Ace, I feel like some of you have a very investigative nature. This could be like a private investigator, this could be a criminal investigator. I also feel this ability for reading people, which would be really well utilized in a field like psychology, especially because the Devil is here. It puts that kind of darker twist on things. So forensic psychology, talking with criminals. You could even be interested in like those serial killer shows on Netflix or like true crime type of shows. You definitely are interested in what makes people do what they do. Why are they behaving this way? And you're very good at getting down to the bottom of that. There is this loner energy here, which I know seems odd because we have the 11th house with associations, but it's also, you know, the word I see right here is freedom. And with the Devil, the Ace is one, you know, it's solo. You prefer to do a lot of things on your own. And I feel like the careers I've mentioned, for the most part, are options where you are working either by yourself or for yourself. So that's something to really consider, group 2. I think you do best when you work on your own. But there's definitely, with Messiah, even it says on here, serving humanity. Humanity's sake is on this card. Okay, you're definitely interested in helping as many people as you can, but you want to do so on your own. Does that make sense? But this all feels to me like you could end up being very well known for what you do. And I say that again because of 11th house Jupiter. I see you have a following. You may even end up teaching others how to do what you do, you know, towards the end. You know, once you've mastered this field or mastered whatever it is you do, I can see you teaching others how to do it. Like they want to learn from you. I feel this big following. I don't know what else to call it. Another thing I want to mention in regards to that, either criminal or private investigating or forensic psychology, the Exorcist card says freeing others from destructive impulses. I feel like some of you may even be interested in like the rehabilitation of those people and seeing if you can turn them around, helping them get back on track. And in that regard, you could be, you know, their savior, their messiah of sorts, okay? Because there is compassion when I see Venus. Jupiter 11th house is all that bigger scale. Yeah, I see you wanting to understand people who have kind of fallen off track, helping them to readjust and readapt. Because the Devil tells me you aren't hesitant to get into the darker side of things. You aren't scared necessarily of working with that heavier, dirtier side of life. And by dirty, I mean like criminal behavior, working with those who have that. So that's what I see for you, group 2. Very interesting, actually. If you'd like, you can go ahead and check out any other groups that caught your eye. But if at the very least, I hope this either kind of helped confirm the path you were on or gave you some new ideas and new paths to consider for your professional endeavors or life path. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the next group. 3, let's do this. Let's lay these out and we'll see kind of what your life purpose is or some good career fits for you. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. We have the 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, Pisces, Mars and Aries, Mercury, and then down here at the bottom we have Priest, Rescuer, and Hedonist, something. I can't say that word. Okay, the very first thing that I kind of get from this group is kind of based off of the 4 of Wands here, which is about your environment, right? But I can also see this as being careers in design whether that's interior design, graphic design, fashion design, even architecture, but also event planning, wedding planning. And I say that because of this hedonist card down here, which is, enjoying the good things in life. So together, these two, I feel like it's all about creating the ultimate party, creating the ultimate experience. And Pisces likes to get in on this too, making your environment beautiful, making it inviting, being just the ultimate host. So this is like the ultimate party planner type of energy I get from this. Now, the Four of Wands can also be referring to baking or cooking. I'm leaning towards baking, like decorating your cupcakes or your cakes, kind of being creative in the kitchen, I guess is what I mean by that. Now, with the Six of Pentacles, there's kind of two ways that I could look at this card. The first way is in reference to acting or being in the entertainment industry, whether that's theater, Broadway, even music, just really putting on a show, which is the Four of Wands, right? Creating that ultimate perfect environment. So you like putting on a show, being on the stage. With this, Aries has a lot of energy. Mars does too, and even Mercury is communicating. So I could see that if you were interested in music, with Mercury being a singer, being a lyricist, and then with Aries and Mars, it's not minding the attention if you are in the entertainment industry. Hedonist actually goes along with that type of vibe as well. Now, the other way I would interpret the Six of Pentacles here is kind of along the lines with priest and rescuer, as far as charities and social work, wanting to help others, providing that strength and support. Okay, so here's our strength, here's our support, really. Just really having an interest in helping others in that way. You may even, this is like getting crazy specific, but there's some sort of law, like a lawyer type of energy, and maybe that's being a lawyer for those organizations. I definitely don't see like law for big corporations or these like big important clients, but more of like defending the little guys, maybe even against those bigger corporations. Definitely, if you're interested in the lawyer route, it'd be more geared towards helping those who really actually need it. Because with Mars and Aries, this is like, especially if we take it literally and it's Mercury in Aries, that definitely is an energy that doesn't mind speaking up for themselves, speaking up for others. Like, you'll just say whatever's on your mind, and it can often be even taken aggressively, even if you don't mean it that way, especially with Mars in the mix here. So that could help you if you did decide to pursue the lawyer route. With these cards though, there definitely is, that knack for communication. Priest is all about communication as well, and wanting the finer things, wanting to create an experience. That's kind of what I see as your life purpose or your life path, is to make whatever you do inviting, make it welcoming, and providing. With the imagery we have here with the Six of Pentacles, this is your life purpose, to be this individual here that's providing for those in need. Now, I know that sounds weird, like, well, then why would you say entertainment industry? Because if you did go the entertainment route, this card can also mean someone who just financially is on a whole nother level. They have money that they are able to give away to those who need it. It's making a whole lot of money and then being able to give back with that. So if you did go the entertainment route, and we know that people who have made it in that industry definitely have the money to give, you could definitely be a rescuer in the sense that you're able to donate to charities or give to organizations that can help people. So that's what I see as your life purpose here, group 3. It's really just this bubbly, compassionate, and even if you don't consider yourself outgoing, others may see you that way. It's like you want to have a good time and you want to help others have a good time too, or at least help their situation. I don't know, design and planning and coordinating is still just really, I can't get over that. That's really what stands out to me the most for a lot of you in this group, like the ultimate party coordinator, wedding planner, event planner, hostess with the mostest, you know what I mean? So feel free to go ahead and check out any other groups that stood out to you. Otherwise, I had a pleasure reading for you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Fabulous group 4, you may be last, but you are never least. Let's lay these out and see what some good potential career fits for you could be. Alrighty, let's take a look at what we have here. We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. What a power couple that is. We have Saturn I love this, Mercury and Gemini side by side. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And we have the 12th house. And then down here at the very bottom, we have orphan, poet, and victim. So there's kind of some interesting energy going around in this group. I want to take a look at the combination of these two tarot cards first, though. I said this was the ultimate power couple. And in that regard, I wouldn't be surprised if your life purpose is something to do with like being a business owner, some sort of entrepreneur, because these are both very ambitious and very intelligent cards. So definitely like you may find yourself in upper management at some point, or that's what you aspire to be. Like you want to be the boss. Both of these cards, they want to be in charge. Now with Mercury and with Gemini, there's communication noted there, and also talents with technology or like gifts for technology. So you could be in communication or media, but I see it more on the production side of things. So you may be editing videos, editing graphics. I don't see you being like the star of a production, but definitely more behind the scenes, maybe even making those kind of like creative decisions. The King of Wands would definitely be wanting to call the shots. Making decisions to make sure whatever you're creating goes off without a hitch, and making it visually appealing, because you're good with technology. You'd be a good editor. On that same note, I could see public relations. The King of Wands, very charming, good with people, and then the intelligence with the Queen of Swords. You'd be good with like advertising, marketing, or even, like I said, public relations, helping people with their public image maybe. Let's see. So with Saturn and the Queen of Swords, these are both teachers. So I could see education as a potential life path for some of you, group 4. Being a professor, being a teacher. With the Queen of Swords and with Mercury and Gemini, it's a very like scientific mind. Okay, that energy would be great, maybe working in biology or chemistry as some sort of like scientific researcher. You could go into the medical field, but this type of energy seems like really intent on discovering something new, which is why I said, you know, maybe more on the research end of things in the scientific fields. I also, with these, with like all of this upper half here could imply being a lawyer or working in law, because this is knowing how to talk. These are also knowing how to talk, but also being committed and invested in the truth. And the Queen of Swords, you know, she's not going to hold anything back. She says how it is. And then with the help of the King of Wands, that makes it just a little more palatable, whatever she has to say. So I could see you being able to win over a judge or jury. Definitely the determination to defend your client if you wanted to go the law route. So the final thing I want to address here is these 3 cards down here at the bottom. And I feel like they're in conjunction with the Queen of Swords in particular, the King of Wands as well, but mostly her. And this is writing. Okay, we have poet. So this is, you know, a gift for words, which again, Mercury and Gemini are also very good with words. That's their domain. So some sort of writer, if it is, it could literally be poetry. But I feel like you would take on writing as a means to express vulnerability, because the Queen of Swords isn't going to very openly talk about her feelings or the experiences or the things that she's been through. And by the looks of orphan and victim, some of you in this group have been through quite a lot. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of pent-up frustration that you may have difficulties letting out. So you would take up writing as a means to express those and hopefully find some relief and recovery from that. If you wanted to take writing on professionally, I would see it in the form of self-help books or even spirituality books as well. You would write as a means to not only express your own feelings and issues, but you would write in a way to help others who are dealing with similar circumstances. The 12th house, yeah. The 12th house and victim and orphan tell me that there's a lot of, sorry, this wasn't supposed to be an energy reading, but there's a lot of pain that you keep inside, group 4. So in regards to writing, I do see it as a way for you to kind of release what you keep bottled up, and it would also serve to help others who are going through something similar. The King of Wands, yeah, you'd be able to connect to those people because he's so charming and personable that when you have all of this energy together, I see you definitely being able to connect with others. They relate to you very well. So those are just some possible life and career paths for you. Feel free to check out any of the other groups if they stood out to you. Otherwise, it was a pleasure reading for you as always, and I will catch you next time. Thanks, group 4. Tarot, this hand's still out here. I don't know why I do this. Don't catch on fire, Chelsea. Hedonist, hedonist, hedonist. I can't say that word. Hedonist.